Would you pay more for a motorcycle that has less power than the previous version? Sounds insane, right? Especially coming from Ducati, a brand known for wild, aggressive bikes that pull no punches. But that's exactly what Ducati did with the new Streetfighter V2 S. They swapped the 955cc engine for an 890cc V-twin. The result? 33 less horsepower? And yet, the price went up. When I first saw the specs, I thought, this has to be a mistake. How does a Street Fighter lose power, lose displacement, and still get called an upgrade? Then I threw a leg over it. And everything changed. It's aggressive like any Ducati should be. But it feels different. Lighter, sharper, more connected. And it delivers a kind of fun I honestly didn't expect. Here's the catch. Instead of chasing more horsepower, Ducati focused on something else. And maybe, just maybe, that less is the secret to the future of sport nakeds. Because sometimes, the spec sheet doesn't tell the whole story. Sometimes, what really matters isn't measured in numbers. It's felt in every turn, every twist of the throttle. And this bike? It's got a lot more going on than the numbers suggest. Visually, the Streetfighter V2 S still looks mean, but there are big changes under the surface. The full fairings are gone, replaced by that raw naked look. Clip-ons are out, and in comes a single wide handlebar 30mm wider than before. That change alone transforms the way the bike feels in your hands. You get more leverage, more control, and a more upright position perfect for carving mountain roads or just cruising through traffic. Underneath, the chassis is based on the 2025 Panigale V2. It uses a monocoque front frame that doubles as the airbox. It's bolted directly to the engine, keeping the weight central and compact. The rear subframe is cast aluminum, and the swing arm is 30mm longer than before. This improves stability, especially with the rider in a more upright stance. It also helps balance out the lighter front end. Speaking of weight, Ducati claims the new V2S is 40 pounds lighter than the outgoing model. That's huge. Less weight means quicker direction changes, easier handling, and better feedback from the road. All these changes raise one big question. Can they really make up for the horsepower drop? Because on paper, it still sounds like a downgrade. But in practice, the story is just getting started. Let's talk about the heart of the machine. The new 890cc V-twin. Yes, it's smaller than the old 955. But don't let that fool you. This engine was designed to punch way above its weight. It's a 90-degree V-twin with a massive over-square layout, 96mm bore, 61.5mm stroke. That lets it rev high up to 11,350 revolutions per minute in 5th and 6th gear. It's compact, quick revving, and incredibly responsive. Here's where it gets interesting. Ducati ditched the desmodromic valve system. Instead, this engine uses traditional spring-actuated valves with finger followers. That's lighter, simpler, and more durable over time. Thanks to this setup, valve clearance checks stretch out to 18,000 miles. That means less time in the shop and more time on the road. Efficiency meets performance. It puts down a claimed 120 horsepower and 69 pound-feet of torque. But the magic number here is this. 80% of that torque is available from 4,000 to 11,000 revolutions per minute. That gives you a wide, usable power band perfect for street riding. They even rotated the cylinders back 20 degrees to improve weight distribution. The engine weighs just 120 pounds, 21 pounds lighter than the old 955. And because it's a perfectly balanced 90-degree twin, there's no need for heavy counterbalancers. Less complexity, more raw connection. This is the lightest, most compact twin Ducati's ever built. And in the real world, it might just be the most fun too. This isn't just a raw machine, it's smart too. The Streetfighter V2 S comes packed with rider aids that make all that performance more accessible, more manageable, and way more fun. You've got 4 riding modes: race, sport, road, and wet. Each one adjusts power delivery, traction control, wheelie control, engine braking, and ABS on the fly. In race mode, the bike goes full beast. Traction and wheelie control are turned down, giving you a more direct, edgy feel. But even then, the systems are there to catch you when needed. Sport mode is the sweet spot for street fun. You get full power, but with a touch more safety net. Road tones things down, while wet drops the power to 95 horsepower for max grip in sketchy conditions. All of this is controlled through a crisp 5-inch TFT screen and a 5-button thumb pad on the left bar. It's intuitive, fast, and easy to use even with gloves on. And then there's the Ducati Quick Shift 2.0. Up and down clutchless shifts, no drama. Clean, quick, and smooth just the way it should be. You're not just riding a motorcycle. You're riding a system designed to make you feel like a better rider every time you twist the throttle. So how does all that tech and engineering translate to the road? In one word, balance. In the city, the V2 S feels surprisingly relaxed. In road mode, throttle response is smooth and friendly. You don't have to fight it or feather the clutch. It glides through traffic like a pro. The low-end torque makes everyday riding easy. No jerky surprises. No need to wring it out just to get moving. It's the kind of bike you can ride daily even if you don't. But then you hit the twisties, switch to sport mode, and it wakes up. The throttle gets sharper. The engine feels eager, always ready to pull you out of a corner with a punch of torque. The steering is light and fast. That 30mm wider handlebar gives you more leverage, so the bike tips in with almost no effort. Yet it still feels planted and stable once you're leaned over. And race mode? That's where things get spicy. It keeps the same power as sport, but dials down the safety net. You feel the rear tire dance just a bit, but the traction control catches it before things go sideways. The suspension handles rough pavement without beating you up, and the lens setup offers great feel from both wheels. You know exactly how much grip you have. Oh, and about that quick shifter? It's slick most of the time, but it can drop into neutral if you rush a downshift from second to first. Not a deal breaker, but something to note. And this is where we start answering the question from the beginning. It may have less power, but it gives you more usable performance more of the time. Sit on the Streetfighter V2 S and you'll notice something interesting. It feels sporty, but not punishing. The seat height is 33 inches, which sounds tall, but the bike is narrow, so it's easy to reach the ground. The riding triangle strikes a sweet balance. You're slightly forward, your feet are tucked just enough, and the bar puts you in a position of control, not cramp, not too relaxed. That 30mm wider handlebar really changes the dynamic. It gives you more control at low speeds and more leverage when flicking through corners. It makes the whole bike feel live and responsive. In the city, the low bar might feel a little aggressive. You're leaned forward more than you would be on a commuter. But get the bike out on a curvy road, and suddenly that forward lean makes perfect sense. You're not just sitting on the bike, you're part of it. Every movement you make translates instantly into action. It's intuitive, connected, and confidence-inspiring. There's enough room to move around, shift your weight, and ride actively. You never feel locked in or restricted. It's not the most comfortable Ducati ever, but for performance naked, it's surprisingly well-mannered and way more fun than you'd expect. So let's take a step back. Less horsepower, smaller engine, no Dismo magic, and yet ... just works. The Streetfighter V2 S isn't trying to be the fastest bike Ducati's ever made. It's trying to be the most rideable, and it nails it. That broad torque curve, the lighter weight, the refined electronics, they all work together to make this bike easier to trust, easier to push, and easier to love. This isn't a watered-down street fighter. It's a focused one. It trims the excess and keeps what matters. Raw connection, balanced handling, and that unmistakable Ducati character. And yeah, it's still fast, just not rip your arms off fast. It's the kind of performance you can actually use on real roads, in real conditions, by real riders. The Hlin suspension, the Brembo brakes, the Pirelli tires, it's all high-end gear. And it all feels dialed in right from the factory. If you've ever felt like the V4 was just too much, this might be your bike. It gives you that same aggressive vibe, just with a little more grace. And finally, about that opening question, yes, sometimes less really is more. Let's break it down. The Streetfighter V2 S has a lot going for it. Pros? It's light, flickable, and packed with usable torque. The electronics are top tier. The Hull-in suspension and Brembo brakes add real performance value. It's confident, fast, and actually fun to ride hard. Cons? It's not cheap $17,995 in the US. The quick shifter can misfire under aggressive downshifting. And the low handlebar might bug you in everyday traffic. But here's the thing, it's not trying to be for everyone. This is for the rider who wants Ducati edge, without the V4 insanity. It's for the street-focused enthusiast who wants power they can actually use. If you want something raw, balanced, and addictively fun, this is your Streetfighter. So, now that you've seen what this bike is all about, does horsepower still matter the way we thought it did? Would you take a lighter, smarter, more agile machine over pure top-end numbers? That's the real question Ducati's asking with the Streetfighter V2 S. Let me know in the comments. Would you go for the V2 S or hold out for the brute force of the V4? Which one fits your riding style? Also, what matters most to you in a naked sport bike? Is it control, comfort, tech, looks? I'm curious where this bike lands for you. If this video helped you, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm we're doing something right. And hey, subscribe for more real-world motorcycle reviews that cut through the spec sheet and get to the feel. Thanks for riding with me. I'll see you in the next one.